Hey, come on, nation. This is Cowboys abroad. Let's get into some football talk. Let's get into some football talk. We just had a first preseason game. Just had a first preseason game and didn't quite make didn't quite make it didn't quite make it didn't quite score enough to really get it done. But I mean, that's the first thing we really want to talk about. Things that we've learned from this game, and the thing that sticks out of my mind initially is that we didn't score any touchdowns in this game, regardless. Whether it's the first team, second team, third string. Regardless, I would like to see more improved red zone efficiency, uh, improved red zone efficiency, and we still kicking field goals and not scoring. We didn't score any red zone touchdowns at all. And so to me, that's a early on evaluating players, but still a red flag to me. Cooper Rush been in our system a couple of years, and he can't put us in the end zone. He can't put us in the end zone on in the amount of time he played. That's a problem for me. When he played a couple of quarters, and he's a seasoned veteran, he can't lead us down. He can't lead us down the field and put us in the end zone. That's a problem. You know, I think we would be fools. We would be fools to at least not consider the fact, not a fact, but consider the possibility that maybe our backup QB just not on this roster. Our backup QB situation that continues to struggle. Yes, we have 3 more preseason games. Yes, we have a lot of training camp left to go. But we had to start opening our eyes up and looking around, and perhaps we need another backup QB. Maybe he's just not on this roster. It seems to me that both Cooper Rush and Mike White struggle. Mike White, we couldn't get ourselves in the end zone, and we 6 yards from the 6 yard. We on the 6 yard line. We can't find ourselves in the end zone. I mean, our red zone play is just it's bothersome. And the other thing is that concerns me regarding our QB play is that we just don't seem to be getting any vertical pushes down the field. I don't really see any vertical passes. I don't see very many vertical passes. And when I do see vertical passes, we're missing on those vertical passes, and so we just don't have a vertical threat with our backup QBs. I'll also consider that a problem. And so that's kind of where I am with the QB situation. What have we learned? Well, number one, we've learned we need to evaluate strongly our QB situation, and be prepared to address it, because we're still continuing to struggle in that area. All right. We learned, at least in my mind, that our depth may not necessarily be as strong as we think it is, or as deep as we think it is. We're starting to lose players left and right. Just looking at our receiving core, we 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 got players injured. And the guys we have out there tonight, John Johnson, and Cedric Wilson. Uh, just when Cedric Wilson was starting to play a little bit, he got targeted, knocked out the game. Probably had to go through concussion protocol. They make it back, and hopefully he'll make it back in a week too. Um, but Lance Lenore being out, with Lance Lenore being basically cut. Yeah, I know he's on injured reserve right now, but he was cut, maybe brought back on injured reserve. Either way, he's not playing. So Lance Lenore out. Noah Brown continues to have his injury issues, and then now we got Cedric Wilson out of the lineup. The amount of receivers we got is looking thin. At least in my mind, we're starting to look thin now. The positive side of that is we seem to be okay with the core of our team. Our top four receivers in my mind are still good to go, so we're good there. But when it start coming to these last two or three spots, it'll be interesting to see who makes it and the role that injuries play and who ends up on this football team. While I'm talking about receivers, while we're talking about receiver, there was a particular receiver uh, that had a couple of drop balls, I think he had a mental error where he stepped out of bounds and then stepped back in on a play. You know, we had a receiver that kind of struggled tonight, but otherwise, but that has been doing fairly well in camp. The receiver I'm talking about is John Vitt Johnson. Uh, he still very well make this team, but he's going to prove he can do it with the lights on. He's had a couple of situations, in both a scrimmage where he dropped three passes. You come out here in this game, he dropped pass. First pass he drops, and then he ends up dropping another pass. Then he has a mental error, so he has to show that he can do it with the lights on for us receiving concern. And the last thing I want to talk about is the RB situation. The RB situation. What do we learn? What do we learn there? Uh, we didn't have anybody. We didn't have anybody really just to stand out. Um, we didn't have anybody to stand out when it comes to RB, and we didn't have everybody stand out. And blocking, the blocking there from our second and third string wasn't necessarily stellar, but we just couldn't get anything going. And even when we went for it on fourth down, couldn't pick it up, and it was just went for it a couple of times, fourth down, and couldn't get it done. And so we learned that uh, it's still wide open competition for who that backup RB is going to be because nobody's really stepping up and just demanding that the job is given to them. And so it's going to be real interesting to see who uh, who wins Game of Thrones there and who's up into that backup RB role. Uh, I am, I'm just going to say that job on the table that we're looking for is the primary backup to Ezekiel Elliott. I'm still and that we get Zeke back on this field as quick as possible. Uh, and with that, I mean, because I don't really see anybody currently on our roster that's anywhere remotely close to Ezekiel Elliott's level at this stage in the game. Nor would you expect him to be. No, he is the number one back in the league for a reason. You wouldn't expect anybody to be close to his league, but you do expect somebody to stand out and make some plays and make you pay attention to them. And I'm just not getting that from. I'm not getting that from our RBs, and so uh, I don't know. I don't know what that mean. What that means. If if Zeke doesn't play this year, I don't know what that means. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. So those are the things that my takeaways from this. Takeaways from this need to look at the QB situation, our depth situation, particularly with our receivers, it's getting thin, as well as our RB. We still have unanswered questions. We have to look at our alternatives, and if we're not going to, and if for some reason we don't have Zeke, we we what I'm saying right now doesn't lead me to believe that our starting RB would be on this roster right now. So somebody's going to have to demand attention, step up, make plays, and take that role. As a primary backup or potentially as a starter. Just not seeing it at the moment. Anyway, that's kind of what I see. It's kind of what I see from this preseason game. Um, it's kind of what I see from this preseason game. Still a lot of preseason left. We still got 12 quarters of evaluation to do with these players. We still got more training camp to do with these players. So we still got some time. These are really kind of our first look at them. You know, but it's obvious in some areas that we have some concerns. Cowboys, bro. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate your support. I'm out.